fun fact, Fluffy's also how the mob got rid of
Hello,
Jimmy
I'm back
Hoffa.
for
All in
another
all, the
day.
perfect crime.
Nope.
I guess. So,
I'm first gonna log in. Yeah, this is
No evidence of
my
foul
main
play.
account, so...
3 people you knew are missing, including your wife. I'd say
Looking
there's
for
a
my
pretty good
first
chance the
account.
cops are still gonna investigate you. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna believe Fluffy's testimony anyway. So the last segment is called They're Creeping Up on You. And I'm just gonna say this right now, if you're even slightly grossed out by cockroaches, you might want to skip this part. Veteran character actor E.G. Marshall plays businessman Upson Pratt, who kinda looks like Larry Fine in his retirement years. And apparently he's also a big fan of Evil Dead. Pratt is something of a germaphobe, which I guess explains why his place looks like a Bond villain lair.
Oh, I found another cockroach this evening, George. One of those big ones. Right here in my $3,200 a month penthouse apartment.
$3,200 a month? Shit, that's almost enough to rent a closet in San Francisco. If Pratt's so concerned about cockroaches, why doesn't he just move to Canada? It's too fucking cold for him up here. And in case you hadn't figured out that Pratt is supposed to be an evil rich guy.
I just called to tell you what a monster you are, Mr. Pratt. And now I will rejoice when you're finally dead.
Lots of people are going to rejoice when I'm dead.
No, when you die, people are probably gonna puke. You'll see what I mean in a bit. After Pratt gets finished taking care of his roach problem, he can unwind by playing his state-of-the-art 1982 gaming rig. First, though, a little dinner.
I'm gonna go popcorn instead now.
Hey, don't get upset. Roaches are very high in protein. Oh, and if you think this is gross, buckle up, because it's gonna get a lot worse. Looks like Pratt better call an exterminator.
I was just trying to run down in my mind who might have a 24-hour fumigating service. I might be able to get Pirelli Brothers out here by, shall we say, 11:30?
Ferrelli Brothers? Okay, hopefully it's Dumb and Dumber Ferrelli Brothers and not Three Stooges Ferrelli Brothers. At least now I know what Joe's apartment would have been like if it had been made by Howard Hughes. One benefit to using roaches in your movie, you can kill them for real and no one will give a shit. Seriously, imagine this happening at your place and not immediately trying to kill every roach you saw. You know you would. And keep in mind, this was made in 1982. There's no CGI here. These are real roaches they're using. Good thing Pratt has a
nice
roach
walk
panic.
into the goddamn mines, you fucking idiot. After I just fucking yelled to you.
Yeah, that's a reasonable response. Oh, and remember how I said it was about to get a whole lot worse? Well, guess what? I wasn't kidding.
Look, I am the fucking gem kid here now. No, okay. Now get out of the fucking thing, I'm gonna be this gem kid.
It's at this point that all the guys who brought a girl on a date to this movie realized that they probably weren't getting laid that night. So that's the last story, and hey, Tom Savini did great work on the effects for this movie. It's only fair that he get a cameo.
Look, an authentic voodoo doll. Somebody already sent for it. Yeah, we can't get that.
Damn, I never got any voodoo doll coupons in my comics. All I ever got were those stupid mail-order monkey ads. And before you ask, yep, that was a real thing you could get back in the day. Time for little Billy to get revenge on his dad.
Throw away my comic books. Ready for another shotgun?
And the moral of the story is, kids, if your parents don't let you read the comic books you want to, then kill them. Or something. And you can't kill your dad. He still needs to stop the Silver Shamrock commercial from killing everyone on Halloween. I thought I'd leave mentioning that's Tom Atkins playing the dad until the very end just to see how many people said, is he seriously not going to mention that's the guy from Halloween 3? I can't wait to read them all in the comments. Despite being pretty different from other horror movies at the time, Creepshow...
You're like, shut the fuck up.
Hang on a second. Tales from the Crypt. Haven't I done all these movies already? Oh wait, I only did the movies connected to the HBO series. The original comics have been around since the 50s, which means there was plenty of time for other people to adapt them, like with this 1972 British movie. Well, in the interest of being thorough, I guess I should do this one too. Hopefully it's better than Ritual. Spoiler alert, it is.
Where the fuck is the M? It is M's! These are fucking
Tales from the
bots!
Crypt is a 1972 horror anthology made by Britain's Amicus Productions, which, if you remember, also made those 70s Doug McClure monster flicks. While the other Tales from the Crypt movies I've done were one long story,
This is
this
a
one is an
zero
anthology
fucking
of several
trophies.
shorts, all of which were taken from old EC
This is
horror comics
nothing.
like Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, and Haunt of Fear. Amicus was known for making horror anthologies, but they have got their work cut out for them if they want to top this.
What is this cowboy shit? You fucking hold dunk, well then there, motherfuckers!
Lots of people know that classic Danny Elfman Tales from the Crypt TV
Oh.
theme, so what's
Thank
the
you,
music
M's.
in this
You
like?
finally fucking did something. No, just let me take off those
Okay, that's a
jumps.
little cliche, but whatever, I'll take it. You know what? Maybe I should replace the music with something more appropriate for a horror anthology.
Oh.
Not many people are going to get that reference, but the ones that do are going to really appreciate it. In addition to featuring a cast of distinguished British actors, this also has someone whose name is sort of close to John Carpenter, so it's got that going for it. Anyway, the movie begins with a bunch of tourists going through some old catacombs, or maybe they're just touring Hammer Studios.
These catacombs are dangerous, and I must warn you to stay with me and not lose your way.
And by stay with me and don't lose your way, I mean don't stay with me and be sure to lose your way. Looks like I was wrong. They're actually on an Amicus movie set. Pretty soon they run into the Crypt Keeper, who is very different from the one most people are familiar with.
Where did you come from? All in good time.
Hey, that guy's not a puppet. The Crypt Keeper here is played by distinguished British actor Ralph Richardson. It seems like he's more likely to start saying lines from Shakespeare than bad puns.
I assure you I have a purpose. Why did you come here? And what are your plans when you leave?
Look, just call them boils and ghouls and get on with it. So the first story is An All Through the House, which was also later adapted for an episode of the HBO series. And if anyone's wondering why I chose to do this movie in December,
Okay, Nanny.
see, this sort of counts as a Christmas movie. I'll tell you what's really scary, the toys kids got back in the 70s. What the hell are these things? Joan Collins stars in this particular story. By the looks of it, I guess her husband's a Shriner? Okay.
You
Merry
fucking
Christmas,
idiot,
darling.
Nanny.
Oh, and before the
Fucking
guests
idiot.
arrive,
You
I
just
should let
wasted
you know
your
that I took
super.
the liberty of telling them your real age. Alright, sorry. Jesus, I didn't think it was that big a deal. The story here is Joan just murdered her husband to get his insurance money, which should really come as no surprise considering how many times Joan Collins has been married in real
Great.
life.
Fucking
Good
great.
news, sweetie. For Christmas, Mommy just got you a
My
bad
support has
inheritance.
fucking
Before she's
gone.
able to
These
make it
are
look like an accident,
bots.
though, there's a bit of a
How
snag.
are we
We
even
interrupt this
fucking
program for a special
losing?
announcement. A man described as a homicidal maniac has escaped from the hospital for the criminally insane.
Yeah. We all know how the beginning of Night of the Creeps goes. You don't have to tell us.
He is 6'3"
Okay,
inches tall.
get the
and
fuck
may be
out of
wearing
there.
a
Get the
Santa
fuck out of
Oh,
there.
what? A killer dressed up as Santa
No.
Claus? Oh man, parents groups are gonna protest the hell out of this movie. Just like they did with Silent Night, Deadly Night. Oh wait, you mean they didn't give a shit this
What
time
the fuck
around?
is that
Okay,
Marty's
never mind. To
doing?
be fair though, this isn't
Martys.
actually about Santa killing people, it's just a maniac
Why
dressed
aren't
up as
you
Santa.
running away? These are bots.
Which
I
is
can't
also what
fucking use
Silent Night,
against
Deadly Night
bots,
was
can I?
about, so yeah, the protest
Get your
for that movie was
shit ass
stupid.
over here.
Damn, Joan already got her daughter presents marked as from Santa. Better keep them out. Hey look, a jump scare without a music sting. And come on, Santa, what are you doing? Just coming through the chimney. She probably didn't lock that. Joan goes to call the police. Wait a
Jesus,
second,
why
she can't
this?
do that yet. She still
You
needs to make her
fucking
husband's murder look like an
idiot.
accident. Okay, I don't know if they used a stuntman there, but that looked like it hurt.
Oh,
Would you look at that? There's a psycho
fuck
Santa
yeah.
trying to break in, and Joan's still focused on cleaning up the crime scene and getting rid of the evidence. Now that's what I call one professional murderous
Doesn't
gold-digging
decide
bitch.
that.
Alright, you got everything cleaned up and made it look like an accident, so looks like you're in the clear. Oh, right, the killer Santa. The daughter lets the Santa in, which is exactly where the original comic story ends, as well as the later HBO version. Okay, it also has that incredibly over-the-top scream. This version, however, goes on a little bit longer.
I have no idea what the
see
fuck they are
someone's been a
saying, but
very
that's
naughty
fine.
girl. Is Santa gonna have to choke a bitch? Gotta admit, I think I like the ending of the comic better. It's implied that the Santa kills her. I don't know that they really needed to show it. But wait
Sure,
a
why
second,
not?
if she
Oh.
died, how is she alive here right now? Yeah, you can probably tell what the final twist of this movie's gonna be. Oh well, we've only got 90 minutes to tell 5 stories, so better get on with the next segment. This one is called Reflection of Death, and unlike the first, this wasn't later adapted into an episode of the TV show. Damn, I was really hoping this would be that Dawn Rickles ventriloquist one. I should also point out that this movie's rated PG, but it's a 70s PG, which means it can get away with more than
I
a
have the
modern
experience
PG
of an
could.
almost 10k player. So
See? He just said cunt. Ian Hendry plays a businessman who's about to go on a
Just
trip.
kind of
By the looks of it, his wife is going to give the pool boy a call
that-
after he leaves. Oh, my mistake. He's the one having an
why is
affair.
not charging my super?
This counts as a nice place? Well, this guy may be leaving his family for another woman.
It
I
doesn't
don't think
charge
DC Comics
my
are known for
super.
bad people getting their comeuppance, so he'll probably get away with it.
Identification. Oh, it's actually good.
Yeah, I'm sure they're fine. Actually, believe it or not, I think he is fine. Well, burns don't seem too bad, but I think he might have gotten a severe case of ironic twist from the accident. Why the hell are you so upset? You're the one wearing blackface.
Is it
By
fine?
the looks of it, the accident's turned him into a slasher movie villain. And don't greet your wife with that music playing. Even more bad news, your wife's moved on and is having an affair with her uncle. Well, at least his girlfriend seems to have got out of the accident okay. Sure, she's blind now, but she is still hot. Alright, by now you can probably tell where this story's going.
After the crash, and I explained it,
Mm-hmm.
the car was killed.
I was planning on doing fancy battles with somebody.
Oh shit, the accident turned him into a zombie from an Umberto Lenzi movie. I joke, but that sort of is what happened here, since the movie pulls a Nightmare City and reveals the whole thing was just a dream, only for it to happen all over again.
He almost have as much HP as he does. Ironic.
Wait a second, so I died twice? Does that mean I'm some kind of super zombie now?
So that is why you were in a hurry to leave your wife and children. Who are you?
He's the Vault Keeper, who else? The next story is called Poetic
Oh.
Justice, and with a name like that, it'd be
Is it
funny if this
mine,
one
I guess?
didn't have a twist at the end. Peter Cushing plays an old man named Mr. Grimsdyke, who by the looks of it is some kind of homeless fisherman. Either that or he's the host of the most low-budget children's show ever.
He's a rubbish collector. A dustman.
Oh, okay, I guess that's what he does. Some snooty rich guys want Grimsdyke to sell his house and move. But he
Let's
can't
see
do
which
that.
bonus
If he
here
does,
is.
Peter Cushing won't be in the movie anymore, and it won't be as
Profile.
good. In order to
18.
force him to move, they conduct a smear campaign against him, which includes having
Jobs,
his dogs taken away and
search,
even getting him
and
fired
mortgage.
from his job.
He'd lose his retirement pay. 7 times.
Well, all I can say is they better not fuck up that Star Wars audition, or I am going to be pissed. One of the reasons Grimsdyke refuses to move is because he believes he can still communicate with the spirit of his dead wife.
Is there anything you wish to tell me? is it?
Here's a fun fact. Peter Cushing was essentially playing himself here, since his wife died shortly before the movie's production and he was battling depression. Wait, it wasn't a fun fact at all. It's really, really sad. Seriously though, Peter Cushing is pretty much always great no matter what role he's playing, but knowing that does add a little extra air of sadness to his performance here. Because Grimsdyke still refuses to move, the snooty rich guys reluctantly admit defeat. Just kidding. Instead, they spread rumors about him being a pedo.
You can't tell from looking at his hands what a filthy old man he is. Constantly filling it with children. Heaven knows what his motivations are.
Okay, they're wrong about that in the movie, but in real life, if your kids are hanging out with a guy like this, yeah, probably best to be careful. Listen, Grimsdyke, I know you're attached to this place, but you might want to leave before Chris Hansen comes in and tells you to take a seat. And not only is this movie appropriate for Halloween and Christmas,
Valentine's Day. It's just 2 weeks away.
see, it's a Valentine's Day movie too. Because nothing they've tried has worked yet, the rich assholes decide to pull out the big guns with Grimsdyke. They send him mean Valentines. I'm not kidding.
She is beautiful, if its owner proves it. Our town isn't, because your presence ruined.
Alright, well I guess people had to do something before the invention of Twitter. Also, what card company printed these? Surprisingly, this is what proves to be too much for Grimsdyke. And I wasn't kidding when I said this was made when a PG rating could still get away with some dark shit. Although it's still not nearly as graphic as the original comics were. You know, if this story ended right here and was just about some shitty rich people driving some poor old man to suicide and getting away with it, that would be a twist I did not see coming. But of course, it's a Tales from the Crypt movie, which means it can't end here. Yeah, that's right. Grimsdyke's back and he wants his damn birthday cake. You usually don't see him in roles like this, but I gotta say, Peter Cushing makes a pretty damn good zombie. In fact, he looks more like the TV series Crypt Keeper than the one from the movie.
Beating him. Not a
Well,
ball.
looks like Grimsdyke got his revenge. And did somebody say 70s
Let's do
PG?
Nita.
No, really?
Bear with me.
Yeah, let's see the
bear
next
with me,
Frozen movie do some
and,
shit like that. Somewhere a young Harry Warden is taking notes. Okay, I did make an innocent old man kill himself, but he came back and killed me later. Does that mean we're even?
What am I doing here?
Setting up the next story. What else? The next segment is called Wish You Were Here. And even though it's based off a story that appeared in an issue of The Haunt of Fear, it's really just a retelling of the classic Monkey's Paw story. Yeah, that's the thing. As influential as EC Comics were, they did sometimes steal from other authors.
Show
Just ask Ray
motherfucker.
Bradbury. Anyway, this one is about a wealthy businessman who's got one little problem.
5
He's
minutes.
not actually wealthy.
Well, you have
2,
two choices. First, bankruptcy. According to you, that would be dissolved, wouldn't it?
Ah, come on, 50 Cent did it. I'm sure you'll be fine. He's told the other option is to sell all of his possessions. Now, that shouldn't be too hard. His house seems to be nothing but antiques. Yeah, they could use that monkey's paw they got, but they don't want any legal troubles, so let's just use this jade statue instead. It grants wishes too.
Reminds me of a tale I once read. What was it?
We could pay all our debts.
The monkey's paw, that's what it was.
Well,
Probably
now you're in
done for
trouble. One
Shelley,
of the weirdest
like,
things about this story is that it actually references the monkey's paw even as it's
that's
ripping it
exactly what
off.
he's
It's
going
like if the
for.
guys from Turkish Star
Shelley.
Wars talked about
I
watching the
fucking...
movie
Oh yeah,
Star
wait.
Wars.
I
Let's
can
see.
see
If I
which
remember
brother he went
correctly,
for.
nothing bad happened in that monkey's paw story, so screw it. Let's use some wishes. They used their first wish for more money, although they seem to be doing fine. You could just try renting out your guest house. See, look, there's a potential tenant right there. Nope, never mind. It's actually an extra from Psychomania. Ooh, that reminds me. I should do Psychomania sometime. Bad news. Your husband died in a car wreck. Good news.
Oh.
He left you some sweet life
Okay.
insurance. And
He
you
went
didn't even
away.
need to kill him yourself like that chick in the first story.
Oh,
His
that's
wife
funny.
decides to wish him back because, you know, that went so
So-
well in the
so
original
now-
story.
Do you know the story of Monkey's Paw?
If you
He
know
got
the story,
pissed.
then why are you following
I
it
beat him
exactly?
every time, and after
Ralph
a while I
Roberts
just
was
BM'd him.
Congratulations.
I'm
Instead of
resisting
bringing
because
him
this
back
was
as a
just a
zombie,
normal
you brought
match.
him back as a vampire.
But come on, losing
For you,
every
he's
time
napping.
from
His
me.
body was mangled in the crash. It wasn't mangled. Mr. Jason died of a heart attack. The wheel.
Ah, the old Macho Man special. Hell of a way to die. Okay, this seems pretty easily fixable. Just use your last wish to bring him back the way he was before he left that morning.
I wish Ralph
use your last wish on something stupid. Well, he's alive again, but he probably wishes he wasn't.
I wish him alive again forever.
Don't you realize he's been embalmed? His brains are filled with embalming fluid.
But, wait a second. So, she wished him back right before the accident, where he supposedly died of a heart attack. So that means a mortician embalmed him after the heart attack, but before he actually crashed his car? Whatever, you're out of wishes, so now just pretend you're Uma Thurman and he's one of the crazy 88s.
You wished him alive forever. You can't kill him. Every piece of him is alive still.
Great, you turned him into the Thing. I guess Joan Carpenter really did work on this movie. Well, that hardly seems fair. Why is this guy here? That story seemed like it was mostly his wife's fault.
What do you want with us? To warn you of what may happen. I don't care about your warnings. I want to get out of here.
Look, just relax. There's one more story and then the movie's over. The last story is called Blind Alleys, which was also later made into an episode of the show. Although that one used a different title. It's also the longest segment, coming in at a whopping 25 minutes, which really highlights just how brief all the other stories are. Anyway, this one's about a retired army major who becomes the new superintendent at a home for the blind.
If there are any complaints, I shall be pleased to deal with them in my office at any time. Morning.
I see being blind hasn't affected their British stiff upper lips at all. Speaking of the patients, looks like Alex and his droogs fucked up Mr. Alexander even worse than we thought. The major makes several cuts to the home, including turning off the heat and severely reducing the food budget. But hey, give the guy a break. He needed money for whiskey. This, however, does not sit well with the residents.
Do you know anything about blind people? They have lost one sense. But the loss of that one sense only tends to sharpen the other. Do you know what that means?
I don't know, you're Daredevil? Get out of my office, will you? I'm trying to get day drunk here. Things have gotten so bad, the patients are starting to look like zombies and they're not even dead yet. The thing that makes them the most angry is the major's careless language.
What do you want? Can't you see I'm having my lunch?
Oh, wait, I guess you
Idiot.
can't.
And that's 10 power cubes.
Good boy, Shane. You'd never kill me in an ironic twist, would you? Who's not gonna kill me at the end? Who's not gonna kill me at the end? Eventually, conditions get to the point where one of the patients actually freezes to death. Oh well, this place still looks way nicer than the one from the TV version of this story. Well, shame about your friend. I would ask if you want an open or closed casket funeral, but I guess it doesn't really matter to you, now does it? Well, that's it. Time for the blind people in the home to get revenge on the major. First, they're gonna make the whole place smell like meat. Then they're gonna trap his dog in a room and challenge him to a cane duel. Okay, actually their revenge plan is a little more elaborate than that. Instead, they keep him trapped for 2 days while they build an elaborate Saw-style maze in the basement. Okay, if they can do that, why the hell are they in a home? Shouldn't they be running a successful carpentry business? Boy, would they love to see the look on the major's face when he has to go through this part. I mean, they can't, but they would love to. And what are you doing? Don't put your eyes next to the razors. Haven't you ever seen a Lucio Fulci movie? Oh, and you know what happens when you starve a dog for 2 days? Yeah, that's right. They get all ironic twisty on you. Of course, they can't actually show the dog eating him. Even though it's a 70s PG, they still can't get that graphic. Plus, to be fair, that is also how the original comic story ended. Okay, so we all died. That must mean we're in heaven and you're an angel, right? I'll just go ahead and step into the light here. It's even worse than I thought. They're an optical effect hell. Even though this is pretty much the end, it doesn't feel right that the Crypt Keeper hasn't cracked any
The
puns
sides
yet.
of the map, seeing if I can see any power cubes.
What with my expenses going up and suddenly finding out I owe the IRS a fortune, your pal the Crypt Keeper's had to find himself a second job.
Eh, that feels a little more familiar.
Who's next? Perhaps you?
Nah, I have way more movies to talk about. Tales from the Crypt was successful enough that Amicus made another EC Comics-based anthology movie the following year, The Vault of Horror.
Did he just leave the club because of me?
None of the stories in that one were actually taken from the Vault of Horror comic series. So, is this adaptation worthy of having the Tales from the Crypt name? Mostly.
Holy
All of the stories here are directed and acted decently enough, and each one follows the original story it's based on pretty faithfully, but it lacks a lot of the color and twisted sense of humor that's helped the comics remain popular even to this day. This version is a little too dry and, for lack of a better term, British for its own good. And I don't just mean Ralph Richardson's decidedly unpunny Crypt Keeper. It's still a solid anthology and far from the worst Tales from the Crypt-related film. But for my money, the movie that captures the spirit of the old EC horror comics better than any other is still Creepshow, and that technically wasn't even an EC Comics movie. Well, that's all for now, and since this movie had a killer Santa in it, I guess Merry Christmas. Until next time.
Wait. Plop. Just okay, let's see. Oh, I have one more. For my tokens, I so just not. I have to do this quest still. I get more PowerPoints then. Yeah, okay, most trophies. Almost 11 dollars. Out of the 69. Okay. First gonna put something on. Okay.
Nu bij Smulders Textiel. De grote zomersolde. Tot wel 50% korting op je nieuwe dekbedovertrek. Kies het eenvoudig uit bij de bedden.
So if you've been following this show, you know I just finished up the Creepshow series of films, which in terms of quality were good, okay, and what the hell is this shit and why is it called Creepshow? But what you might not know is that years before that thing that called itself Creepshow 3, we already got a Creepshow 3. Well, kind of.
Yes, he was his gadget. I did not know that. I never really had his gadget.
Tales from the Dark Side is a 1990 anthology horror movie based off of the TV series of the same name. So why am I saying this is the real Creepshow 3? A few reasons. For starters, the TV show was created by Creepshow director George Romero and was originally intended to be a Creepshow series. However, because Warner Brothers owned certain trademarks related to Creepshow, it was decided the name of the series would be changed to Tales from the Dark Side, and that the comic book elements from Creepshow would be downplayed. The series featured adaptations of stories by several famous authors, including Stephen King, who wrote the first Creepshow film and provided stories for the second. And the movie adaptation even features a segment based off of a Stephen King story with a script by George Romero. It also features producer Richard Rubinstein, who produced the first two Creepshow films, and was also directed by John Harrison, who did the music for the first movie. Tom Savini, who did effects for the first Creepshow, has even said that he considers Tales from the Dark Side to be the real Creepshow 3. Okay, so even if it's not called Creepshow, we've still got several people who worked on the first two movies involved here, as opposed to this movie, which used the name as an excuse to string together some half-baked porn movie setups and rejected sitcom gags. It's also brought to us by a film company I've actually heard of, which probably increases the likelihood this is going to get blocked, but oh well. And it's even got some people in it you might recognize. Look, it's Debbie Harry from Blondie. Yeah, this intro's trying to trick us into thinking she's all wholesome and sweet, but I happen to know that she's into some pretty kinky shit. I will give her credit, though. She does know how to rock the hot grandma look. Oh, and she's also a witch who's holding a little boy prisoner so she can cook him in her oven. And that's our framing device. Gotta admit, it's a much more promising intro than that grade school Microsoft Paint assignment that opened Creepshow 3. Damn it, who left a copy of the script in here?
When I was a little girl, this was my favorite book.
I also had the follow-up book, Monsters, but this one was better in my opinion. Debbie doesn't seem that bad. She's only trying to cook one of the Lawrence brothers. If only she had ate some of the Wayans brothers, she could have prevented white chicks from getting made. Little Timmy offers to read the witch some stories from the book in order to stall for time. He needs to make sure he makes it to that superhuman samurai cyber squad audition. Holy shit. Haven't thought about that show in a while. Does anybody else remember that but me? Anyone? Whatever. So the first story is Lot 249, which is adapted from a story by Sherlock Holmes creator Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Okay, bit of an unusual choice for this movie, though it already sounds scarier than a radio that gives out financial tips. What? Christian Slater? Okay, good to know JD turned his life around after trying to blow up his high school. These two are Andy and Lee, and I'm guessing their full names end in either the Third or Esquire. Lee got Andy's sister to write an essay for him in order to win a fellowship, which prevented another student, played by Steve Buscemi, from winning it.
Now.
Yeah, this is Lee. Locked in, right?
Next one was gonna be in 2012. He's definitely
college newspaper this
I
morning.
I heard you cheated me out of my fellowship. Congratulations.
That's how he got that comet.
Oh, and if you're wondering what the title Lot 249 refers to, it's the name of an ancient Egyptian mummy Steve had delivered to his dorm room, probably because he didn't want to be the creepiest thing in this movie.
I'm definitely gonna go for search.
Stick a metal hook up his nose.
Oh,